And don't worry, this is 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. Get started.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So to my right, we have Dev, our nail educator. To my left, we have Ren. Ren, do you want to introduce yourself, Big Boss?
Oh, I'm Ren. I'm all of you know me. I'm Ren, Maniology.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
And Tiana, your nail educator here. And as you can see, I am actually between two ferns, but not ferns. But I'm gonna be kind of moderating today's video. So we got some nail art, we got some conversation, and we hope you're happy to join us. So what are we doing today, Ren? What are we talking about?
Well, you know, the series Zen with Ren is talking about health, mindfulness, and meditations, and just overall general things like that. We wanted to go to kind of tie in nail art with, you know, everyday health. What do we do to take care of ourselves? So I just had the idea that it was kind of a self-reflection that I had recently. Using a nail art from pick your nail stamping plate and then pick something that you have a story that you can tell or something that resonate with you, a design. So I went to camp with my boys like a few weeks ago. He's into Cub Scouting, and then when I got home, I actually had a revelation or some type of insights that I wanted to share and say, oh, okay, maybe that's something that we could do. So I told Devon, each of us pick a stamping plate, and then we do a nail art design, and then we can talk about whatever we want, basically. And then Tiana, you're here to help us to kind of navigate.
Here to hang out.
Yes.
I'm here to join in the conversation and stuff.
So you want me to kind of share, and then we just start. And maybe Devon, what did you pick?
I picked our Chic Peak plate, BMXL 476.
She went old school. As you can see, even from the nail plate, it says BM. So
yes,
if any of you have been joining us from back in the day when we were Bundle Monster, that's how old this design plate. So it's an oldie but a goodie.
Yes, it is.
What did I pick? I picked a camping design plate because that's what I am going to talk about. And
this is a CYO plate, so created by our loving Maniology Ohana fans who submitted images, and we helped create a nail plate with kind of like coordinating camping themes and stuff.
So ask us any questions or commenting. I'm gonna start by doing my nail, and maybe I should just jump into my story. I felt like it's
Go ahead.
And then
well, first off, how are you doing your nails? So I see that Devon has her nail tips set up here. She got like 5 really cool nail tips. What are you doing today? Right?
I was thinking doing the tips, but last time I did the tips, but this time I tried to do it just onto my nails.
Okay.
Ren has a really nice like model hands. So his
very nice. I know.
He has very, very nice hands. He has really large nail beds and
a lot of art.
So and very minimal cuticle as well. Ideal hands for nail art.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If you miss a model next time, maybe I can jump in.
Nobody would know.
Okay. So I didn't paint anything, but my story, I'm just gonna keep talking and then do my nail. I really like, if I fail, first of all, I plan to do this fire here. I really like this fire.
Well, let's not start off with Juju like that, right? So is the whole mindfulness thing supposed to be talking positive, right?
Well, not exactly.
No, okay. I just figured, maybe we should start off on a positive note. You're not going to fail.
Okay.
And nail stamping, as we all, we say it in like our Maniology lives and everything, it's supposed to be fun. Yes. It's not meant to be stressful.
Oh, I'm stressful because I'm doing it with my 2 educators.
No. It's not meant to be stressful. Yes. Everybody, it's meant to be fun. So let's just kick it off with something fun.
Thanks for the encouragement, Tiana.
Yes.
Okay, I am planning to do this camp fire design. I will do a little reverse stamping with that. I did practice a little bit because I think that's what we did. We do s'mores if
Okay.
at the camp, and then so you have a campfire, and that's actually what all the children they look forward to that. And when I was young, I never I never really had the experience in going camping. Maybe that was really subconsciously that was the reason that I signed up my children to camp. To Cub Scout, and then
the camping aspect specifically.
Not exactly. The first year I remember I didn't go to camp because kind of don't know what's going on. You kind of want to see how it goes. And then second year we went, and then we had fun. And then in Carol too, first time she never went, and then the kids started to tell their mom, "Oh, you should come join us." And then ultimately we all went, and then we enjoyed. Not hardcore camping, but we set up. I have my pop-up tent. You see the setup and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I see you have a brush here. Are you going to be reverse stamping?
Yes.
Is that what that's for? Wow.
Yes.
Go,
Okay.
Fancy.
Very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of quintessential camping colors and stuff.
So I chose this plate. And the reason I chose this plate is because this plate kind of is like, I want to say it's like a little bit of me in this plate, and that is part of the reason I chose it. The time that this plate was designed, there was nothing like it. No one was able to stamp stones on their nails. There was nothing anywhere for this kind of stuff. And I worked with the designer for a very, very, very long time. I would say most plates, they can take about a month, maybe 2 weeks to a month to get the design process to happen. Not for the actual sample, but just the design process. But I felt like this one took 6 months, which is really unusual. And it was really hard because for the designer, I was trying to explain to them how to do this and then show them and draw things out for them so that way they could copy my drawings and kind of work it in. So it was a labor of love for sure. One of the things I was really well known for was creating a lot of free-handed stone design. So I'd do that with gel on my hands, but I wanted other people to be able to get it done easily with stamping. So that was something that I poured my heart into for this plate. And even though I don't use it, because I know how to make these designs by hand, I wanted other people to be able to do it because, again, it takes a lot of work to be able to do these things freehand. You need a lot of layers. So this is a very easy, simple way to get the look without having to put a lot of effort into it. And yeah, so I felt like...
Well, today you can do it.
I can do it. And I poured my heart into this plate. So it's definitely a labor of love with this specific one. Yeah. And then I think even to this day, it's still one of our best sellers.
Definitely.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Because it's, I feel very unusual.
It's timeless. Honestly, who's going to go wrong with some marbling,
right,
with stonework and stuff like that? It's timeless.
Yeah, it's definitely a reliable plate. And I think even when I've looked at other stuff too, I'll see plates that are like this that just have the marble, but I won't see them have other types of stone designs. So that are based off of the actual stone. But anyways, I think Ren wants to share something with us or show something to us. I see you kind of holding your stamper.
No, I am just, my first 3 attempts, kind of failed, pick up the stamp, but that's what Tiana is saying. Just keep trying. And then the last one I pick up well. This is not something I do a lot. So, but
no, that looks great.
This one is great. So I'm going to.
So if it doesn't work the first time, keep trying.
Yeah,
yes.
try again.
Yes, try again.
Yes, you can see some of the failed attempt.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this one is good. Lightly roll it.
It'll feel so satisfying once everything works. Promise.
Honestly, that is the stamping process. Sometimes it works, sometimes you just got to keep trying, but eventually you will get it. And for those who have seen both of our lives,
oh yeah,
it's all on there. We don't hide the fact that sometimes we have to keep trying. So
keep it real, right?
Yeah, the stamping realness is real. So if you ever want to catch any of our Maniology lives, Get some good laughs in there.
We do. We do. And a lot of honesty.
And you always have the, part of mindfulness tying back to you. I think the biggest benefit I've gained is you always have the power to create your own meanings and interpret, I can interpret that failed attempt as, I don't want, I'll stop. Or I can interpret that, I'll keep trying, right? So it's really up to you.
And I had a failed attempt just now. So you see? Professional, beginner, it happens sometimes.
Definitely.
But I think, like Ren said, a good point about this and stamping, it's a good practice for learning to be persistent and to keep going. Even if something happens, just keep going.
That's a good word, persistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember, my story. You both know I have pretty consistent morning meditation practice in the morning, right? So, and then I do a very short daily journal every morning with my phone. People would write it, but I decided to just use my phone for convenience.
You're a digital guy.
Yeah, I'm even if I read on my, on my phone a lot now.
Oh, okay.
Even we all like to hold the hardcover books, but I feel like for the convenience, and I like the dictionary. Sometimes you just press the word and then kind of highlight the words, and then you know the meaning, or you can highlight the segment that you want to save. And I do that, but during the camp, it takes you out of your ordinary routine, right? Okay, and then I still did, when I woke up, I remember I still meditate, shorten the time, just do it like a few minutes inside the tent. But when I got back from the camp, like 2 days later, so we camped for 2 nights, and I went back home and everything starts to kick in now. So the next morning, and I look at my phone, actually I skipped 2 days. I didn't do my journal at all. And then I reflected on it. So I used that as my journal topic. So I wrote that, I realized that I can interpret it different ways. If I actually stick with my routine and then just still do my journaling those two days without skipping, I can be proud, say that, I even when it's inconvenient for me, I still stick with it, right? And then, I'm consistent. I persevere. I'm consistent, right?
Right.
Okay.
Like life has thrown you a curveball.
Yeah.
It's not your ordinary weekend situation.
But
right?
I still kept it.
Right.
Okay. But on the other hand, on the flip side, I thought about it, at the same time, I can say that I'm able to improvise. I don't have to do it. I wanted to stay present with my kids. They woke up, I went out the tent, play with them, kind of enjoy the moment. And then when things didn't work out or doesn't present itself for you to do what you normally do, you are able to kind of take a little break from your routine. So be a little bit adaptable and flexible.
Right.
So, and then I kind of wrote that in my journal and said, there's nothing really right or wrong. I can go either, I can say I'm consistent if I actually did the journaling without skipping, or I can say that, I was flexible, I was adaptable. And then, but when I got back home, I stick back to my routine. So just a little reflection that when I return home, I felt that, just like in life, and then I kind of go through my mind, just like in many things that we see around us, you can really interpret it like differently. And a lot of times there's nothing really right or wrong to it. So that's why I picked the camping design plate, because I had that mini moment of myself.
I could see that. I mean, and isn't life actually kind of like a happy medium between, that perseverance and being present at the same time, learning how to be adaptable? I'm still learning. Every day is a practice for me. And I know I've mentioned this in my lives and stuff before, and these two, they know. But type A personality starts to kick in at any one point. So, I mean, for me, I could easily see if that was something that was meant to be something consistent like the journaling and stuff like that. I think for me, I would probably still be in that place of, oh, bummer, I didn't do it. Like I was so consistent and I didn't do it. But learning to be adaptable and learning to be a part of whatever the situation kind of arises is really important too.
What is type A personality? Sorry.
Just, I don't know, like, I kind of see it as somebody that's really stringent in the way that they do things. Honestly, adaptability is kind of like a general hardness for me.
I would say a simple way to put it is type A likes a lot of structure. They like structure and consistency, stability, which is great. Everyone needs that, especially to build a life. They need to have some sort of structure. But also with that, of course, it's a
adaptability is really hard. You know what I'm saying?
Change, especially quick change, can be really uncomfortable.
Yes.
Tiana and I are both Virgos, so we have some similarities in
but not all Virgos I think have. But you're right though, actually. Ren and I only share maybe about 2 weeks apart, birthdays. But sometimes not all Virgos are the same type of Virgo.
True.
And I can say that I've definitely changed. Having a child definitely helps that. Nobody humbles you like having a kid.
Oh, yes.
And, having to practice adaptability. Or say, for example, if you have an animal, practicing adaptability is very important in this life. So I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, Ren.
You came to realize that you don't control everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even though you think you do.
Yeah.
But let's get back because I see Ren has stamped.
Yes.
The
Check this
fire.
out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, did you reverse stamp it?
I did. I did.
See? I can't see from here. Wow, you did a good job. You colored in.
Yes.
Well.
Pretty good, yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty good. So I used, what did I use? Chestnut.
Oh yeah, definitely say what it is that you used.
And the sunrise for the fire.
Ooh, yeah. That's a perfect color for fire.
And if you not notice, I did put on a sticky base coat because we took the time talking a lot. So the reverse
I thought you were gonna miss it. I thought you were gonna miss the mark to like transfer it. So I'm glad it worked out.
Yes, I practiced a little bit before I did this today.
Also, let me help you out. Your stamper isn't sitting. This stamper head isn't sitting well inside your.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna make it difficult for you when you're stamping.
Okay.
So everyone, as a little helpful hint, make sure your stamper head is sitting correctly inside of the stamper.
That's very good.
Making sure that pickup is even.
Yep, looks good. Because, of course, if it's squished down too far, it's going to be uneven and then it's going to make it harder for you.
How are you doing on your nails?
I'm doing good. So far,
I want to talk about the colors you use too?
Yeah. Okay, well, I used so many colors as the base. That's part of the reason why I decided to paint my base ahead of time instead of doing it here because it would have just been like polish everywhere. I used... Ooh, this is a good question. What did I use?
Well, let's start with what you have for stamping.
Okay.
What basically what
for stamping, I'm using straight up black, and I decided to do malachite, but because this green didn't really stamp as well as I wanted to, there wasn't enough contrast, I had to switch it up and go with a black. I think I used like emerald green and... I don't know. I'm terrible, guys. I'm so sorry. It's because for a lot of these, I used many different like colors for the base.
We'll post it in the description.
Yeah, we'll have to post it in the description after. But I can tell you about some of the stones that I wanted to recreate. So I wanted to recreate like a dendritic opal. I want to say that's what it's called because that's what this is. This is dendrites, and dendrites are like little veins that grow in crystals, like, and it looks like this. But I like it because it kind of looks like a tree, and I think that's really cool. So each time I play with this plate, I feel like I figure out new things that I can do with it. So today I decided to create this, but something I think would have taken it to the next level is if I had the calcium or the 7-in-1 potion, base potion, I want to say.
Oh,
Yes.
the base coat.
I'll actually put that on today.
Yes. The 7-in-1.
Very nice.
I love that. I mean, I've talked about it enough, but I love it. And if I had it with me, I would have probably topped it over so that way it could create like more of a milky effect, since the dendritic opal is usually kind of clear. And then I wanted to make a rose quartz and a turquoise. And then I forget how to say this. It's either chalcedony or chalcedony. I'm not exactly sure. I can spell it, but I don't know the pronunciation. So
I would definitely be the wrong person to ask.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, my love for crystals goes very deep. That's another part, I guess, that I can share. When I was little, I used to have a bunch of friends in my neighborhood, and we would go look for crystals. And I'm talking about like 5 years old. Like, that's some of my earlier memories. And I would raid my dad's like tool shed, and I would look for a hammer, and then I would take it with me. And I would find like different rocks on the ground, and it'd have like little bits of quartz, and I would smash the rock to take the quartz part and then like leave the rest of the rock there. But they were always really, really small. Only one time my friend and I actually found like a geode type rock. And that was really, really lucky. And I'm talking, this is like years of me doing this. Like,
This around the neighborhood?
yeah, we got really, really lucky. It wasn't like a really pretty like purple geode. It was white, and then the inside was like all white quartz. So, but it was a really good memory, and I used to do that a lot when I was a kid. I'd say from like maybe 5 to like 10, 11. I would do that.
In other words, Dev also has to say I'm apologize to some of these neighborhood members because that might have been your driveway.
Yeah, exactly. There was this one house where they had a stone paved road. It was all these tiny stones, and there were a couple of times we definitely tried to like dig up the stone or like see if we could like get it out, but it didn't work.
Not realizing for
did you do it
property.
like you do it there, or you take it back home and then pound it?
Usually we would, it depends. Like sometimes it would just be rocks, like on, I don't know how to explain, not like a median strip, but like on the sidewalk there would just have these areas where it was just like some rock stuff, and sometimes I'd just like break it right there. So, but it must have looked weird to a lot of people because I'm like a 5-year-old kid with a hammer, just randomly like walking around, you know. Yes,
bopping rocks along the street, just
exactly.
going for it.
Those were the fun times.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's funny, yeah. Like now we always remember like things that happened like long time ago. Yes.
Well, those are good memories. But you know what? Actually, since we're talking about memories and stuff, kind of brings me back to days that I used to camp. First of all, I do want to make a mention because I feel like the people who are watching this are audience. So if you're not aware and you're just joining us for the first time, we are located on the beautiful island of Oahu, Hawaii. And when we do camping, it looks very different than mainland camping.
Yes.
Okay. And luckily, I've had both experiences now because I did live a portion of my life in the mainland. But growing up, camping could either be pitching up a tent at the beach, sleeping in a van or the back of a truck, a pickup truck, or they have cabin camping by the beach. Not too many camping in the woods.
Yeah, that's very different.
Yeah.
Which is very, like, what this nail plate kind of looks like is camping in the woods. But our version of camping looks very different. You know, usually the kids are going to the beach and, you know, you have maybe a family member who's fishing or net fishing or catching sand crabs at night. Did you guys do that?
Yes.
We crab hunting.
Yeah.
We did the crab hunting. That's something that was new to me.
Okay.
Even as an adult, I never go like crab hunting.
Right.
So that was fun. When I overall, I think I camped with the scout maybe 4 or 5 times.
Right.
So that's the part they always look for. Like the first night is crab hunting. The second night is the s'mores.
Okay.
and then they do the skit and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like crab hunting, you know, at
Definitely.
night and stuff. So basically
Definitely.
we'd go out with our flashlights, or actually we didn't even have headlights back then. That was like too upscale for us, but go off with our flashlights on the beach and go crab hunting. And then we just let them go at the end of the night. But all the kids would have like their buckets or pails and everything. And we just pick them up with our hand.
Yep.
So that was really fun. I really miss doing that kind of stuff. But when you're in the mainland, you see signs like make sure to pack up your food and put it back in your car and don't leave it out for the bears kind of stuff, you know? So it is a very, very different experience. Yeah, I remember my boyfriend and now husband taking me camping in California for the first time. We went up to this place called Shaver Lake, and I saw that.
You saw what? So the
signs by the trash cans and stuff, and it was like, oh, make sure you pack up, you know, you don't leave any trash out. You know, put your food back in your car because the bears will come. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
I was like, the only thing I was worried about was mosquitoes.
Yes.
You know, in Hawaii, but
bears,
California,
snakes,
yeah,
coyotes, like wolves. There's so many things.
I know. It was very different.
Ivy, like
very different experience. And also when we went swimming, instead of like a warm beach in the Pacific Island, you know, Pacific Ocean, it was an ice cold lake that was gorgeous, completely clear, but it was ice runoff from the mountain, so it was frigid.
How's the experience? Was it like it was cold, and was it really, when you get so close to the nature, does it give you like certain?
Well, I'll be honest, I actually don't mind ice, like cold baths. I kind of grew up like that too, and I think if you went to the beach, you know, your mom was like throwing you under the cold shower. There's no such thing as hot water.
There's no hot water.
You know, when you have to clean up and stuff like that. So when you got to get the sand everywhere, it's just like, oh no, get in the water. No hot water. But it was invigorating. It was a different experience. Really cool.
How many days you were? Was it like a 2-night thing?
I think it was like 2 nights. Yeah. But you know, hearing just like a different outdoor experience, hearing animals rustling maybe around your campsite and stuff, it's just different. Yeah.
Even just simply looking up, I remember, I think, was it one time just looking up at the sky, like filled with like stars, and then like I think one campsite we were right next to the beach, so you can hear like the waves, like that's like organic white noise.
No need the white noise machine.
No, that's so true. And actually that was probably one of my favorite parts about going beach camping, was hearing the morning rustling of the waves crashing onto the sand. And that was just kind of like the alarm clock for the kids to put on their bathing suits and go out to the beach.
It's so hard too, because with camping, like I grew up that every summer we'd have a huge family camp, and sometimes it'd be multiple times within the summer we'd go camping for a couple of days, and it was such a different experience doing it as a kid and with my family versus when I finally decided to do it on my own with with my boyfriend, my husband. He was my boyfriend at the time, but my husband. I went with my family, and we, again, all the memories that Tiana is talking about, that was my memories. Hearing, you know, falling asleep to the ocean, taking naps on the beach and getting sunburned, catching crabs at night, barbecuing, you know, all those kinds of things. Spending time with my family, my cousins, and just being in the ocean pretty much from sun up till sundown. And the cold showers, of course. But when I went with my husband, thanks Tiana. When I went with my husband, it was for my birthday, and I went with a group of friends. And the experience was not nearly the same, because when you're with your family, especially local families, there's always food. They have to feed you. There's a tent. There's a whole setup. Everybody brings a generator. I mean, it's like we're camping out. It's a huge thing and everybody contributes. When I went with my friends, it was really different because my friend group is smaller. And they obviously could not commit staying like 3 days the same way that I would with my family. So I was like, man, I was wanting that experience so bad because I had remembered it from when I was a child. But then when I got older and I did it, I realized the experience that I was craving and missing was actually the one with my family, which was very different than what I was going to have as an adult with friends. I mean, not that it couldn't be great, but it was very different.
And let's be honest too. I think when you are the person who has to plan
oh gosh,
all of this,
that was so stressful.
that experience is like just, it was changed because you could rely on mom and dad to like pick out the cooler and got the menu. And then, you know, us as kids, it's like, oh, the s'mores is already ready for us. We just have to put it on a stick or something, you know, for the marshmallows.
Once you're done, you just throw it. That's what they do. They just give me back the stick.
No, I know. Or it's like, Mom, I'm hungry.
Yes, and then all the
where's
snacks
the food?
are ready?
Or the barbecue is. So it's a much different experience now that we're older. But I long for those experiences too with my kids. So So let's see where we're at. Ren, I just saw you kind of going for it over here.
Yes, I this one while talking, I forgot to put the sticky base coat on this one, so this one didn't
jump in there. I see a little
fuzzies.
Yeah.
There
and then this one I did better with the I had a green tent, so I put the green color with my tent. And then
look at you getting all fancy with the reverse stamping over here.
Trying something different. You know?
Yeah.
You can borrow any of my colors if you need to, Ren.
I'll grab this with acetone.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll do the happy camper. The last one right here. I'll do the happy camper.
And what about you, Dev?
So I did my malachite, my chalcedony, I'm not sure, rose quartz, and I am top coating my turquoise. So I did my 5 designs, and I'm just waiting to top coat with some matte so that way you guys can see it. Actually, it doesn't look too bad glossy. I don't want to top coat this in matte. I probably should so that way we can see more of the fine lines, but I really like the way it came out. This was a fun one. I think this is something new that I tried for this particular plate. Again, usually every single time I actually sit down and play with it, I end up finding like a new stone that you can create with it.
Right.
And I think that's also the fun of this particular plate is like how many different types of stones can you create with it? So yeah.
I'm so surprised that actually Deb didn't do labradorite because I know that's like a fave actually of ours. But labradorite needs a lot of different layers and stuff.
It does.
But I love the feldspar. I think that's what it's called. Like the
the sparkly parts in it.
Yeah. I mean, there are other stones that kind of fall into that category too, that the feldspar, but labradorite is one of my favorites. Yes. And moonstones.
Moonstone. Yeah, I love moonstone a lot. So that I think is part of the reason why this plate particular means a lot to me, because I have always loved crystals and stones. Apparently when I was first born, that was one of the things that I like initially grabbed was my grandmother's ring. She had a huge emerald ring on, and I grabbed her finger like shortly after I was born. That specific finger, of course. And I've always liked sparkly things and stones. So even growing up, I would always try to look for crystals. My dad would, whenever he traveled, he'd always bring me back some sort of crystal because he knew that I liked collecting them. He's a salesman, so he sold medical supplies, and he would always have to go like to the mainland for different conferences. So he'd always bring me back like a little bag of crystals or stones because I was like obsessed. And my parents thought I was going to be a geologist, so they even bought me like books on geology. And I thought even I was going to be like maybe a geologist or a gemologist. And then I even started like making my own jewelry. And I worked with a lot of crystals and freshwater pearls and stuff like that. So my love affair with crystals has been a lifetime, a lifetime long love. And I was finally, when I started doing nails, then I figured out how to do it on nails. And then I made all sorts of stone stuff, and I did all sorts of stone nail art. And then finally I was able to bring it into stamping. And yeah, that's part of the reason why I think this plate means so much to me, because again, I feel like this plate was a little piece of me. Each plate that I work on, obviously there are parts of me in it, you know, or elements of me trying to like create designs and things like that. But this I felt like was like an essence.
Very special.
Yeah, like the essence of
Definitely.
my creative journey and also my childhood.
You deal with like different types of stones, like stones on the nail art.
Yes.
Like you could never expect that, right? But you would think, like your parents would think that you are gonna become like a geologist dealing with the
Yeah.
natural stone. But you know, in a grand scheme of things, that you are still doing something in that different dimension of.
Definitely. And then my mom, like, I'll do her nails. So she's had me like do different stone art on her nails. And she's always amazed how all of the things that I did in life kind of come together for this particular job. My parents even, like, growing up, my mom and dad sent me to oil painting classes and watercolor classes and different type of art classes. So they weren't really sure what I was going to do because I got really deep into art as well. And so they were like, oh, maybe she's going to be a painter or something like that. And then this kind of combines everything. And I also got into beauty. So it's like beauty, my love for crystals, and also my art background all coming together.
It's funny too, because you're jogging a memory for me. My mom used to work in this office for this construction worker, and he was like in construction, and she used to take me to work, and I would just be like hiding under her desk and stuff, and you know, just listening to music or drawing on blueprints, you know, all this kind of stuff. Well, the neighbor next door was, I guess, a geologist. And I'll never forget this guy. His name was Wayne. And he gave me my first stone.
Ooh.
And it was a TV rock.
Wow.
And
a TV rock?
Yeah, so basically when you looked at it, it magnified whatever words you could see through.
Okay.
I think now it's like selenite or something. But he you know, for a little kid, it was like, it's a TV rock.
That's super
And
cool.
so he put it up against like words, and it just magnified the words and stuff. And I was just like
mind blown. I know.
So it's funny because and I remember my mom, she had this gorgeous geode rock that I just was like enamored with. So my love for stones kind of went back since I was a kid too.
Yeah.
So it's funny, you know, talking about all different kind of conversations and thinking about memories and stuff. Yes, exciting.
I think one thing is like when we talk like this is when we think about all this, you know, happy moments are the most simplest things.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I think, you know, we talked about this before, you know, when we were a lot younger, being happy is so simple.
Right.
And now when we are adults, people will say being simple is the most happiest.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're
So
trying to grab onto that.
yeah,
somewhere.
so I think it's really just like even like right now what we're doing. I know nail stamping is like a very individual thing as a form of, you know, creative hobby, but we would encourage like doing it with a friend, just like now, like talk stories. I think that's what really keep us going is the relationships, the conversations, you know, just talking, you know, without script or anything, just talk what we want and what really
Candid. Being candid.
And yeah, I think that's the essence of, you know, doing nail art together, having conversations and
Building your own community.
Yeah, talk stories, build your community, spend time, family bonding. You know, we always see a lot of stories, daughters and moms, or even grandmas and their granddaughters doing nails together, and that's honestly, I think that's one part that I really appreciate from what we do.
I think so too. I think for me, one of the funnest things about our job is, one, obviously the process of creation is fun for me to create all these different products, but then seeing how people use them or them using it in ways that you never even thought of.
That's true.
That is really rewarding, giving people the tools to be creative and letting them just do whatever it is that they want.
We're surprised many times.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's many times where I'm like, wow, I learned something new from seeing someone use the product in a different way.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe a way that I didn't even think of or intend, and it's really exciting. I love it.
Definitely.
Well, I did my nails today, so
Same.
I'll give you a final look.
Yeah, I want to see up close too.
Okay.
Wow. What does this say? Happy camper?
Happy camper,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
sounds like you guys were.
Yes, happy.
So do we have any more camping plans since summer is on the horizon?
I'm going on a small trip, so supposedly they have a camping, so I'm not able to make it. So I think the next one will be in fall.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's another thing, living in Hawaii. We can go camping all year round.
Yes.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, I think, thank you very much. I think,
I think
we
this
had a good
pretty
time.
much sums it up.
Yep,
So
I think so.
thank you so much for joining us. This was awesome. Hope you guys totally enjoyed the conversation. And I'm Tiana.
I'm Ren.
I'm Devon.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye. See you next time.